All right, everybody, welcome to Town. We're potting again. What has it been? 2 months?
It's been a
Like
minute.
a,
I think a
Maybe
month
even
and a
like a
half.
month. I think we posted in
Yeah, a month
December.
and a half.
So about a month and a half, yeah.
Did we not do Nats?
we do one right before Nats, I thought. I thought it was like a month.
Oh, okay, it's
Yeah.
been about a month.
Not too bad.
So, we missed out on talking about Nats, so let's just skip over it. Treasure Cups just are happening. We got two more, one this weekend, one next weekend, and then basically One Piece Day?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I figured let's talk Treasure Cup results since it's been a little bit. Dofi's doing good.
Oh,
Crazy.
who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah. Anything you guys want to talk about for these results?
It looks like Blackbeard's actually like starting to like
Yeah.
make an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
The builds are really interesting though. They're all playing like the Tempest Kick Sky Strike or something like that, and then Shockwave. I like
Yeah.
Shockwave. I don't know how much I like playing Trigger for Pot of Greed. That's one of the only reasons I play it. I had two guys who played it last weekend tell me they were like, "Yeah, man, I just play it because that trigger. I've never used the card besides that." I'm like, "That's sick."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Teach won.
It could be good.
Oh, sorry. Teach won what?
It
The
won-
EU Treasure Cup?
I think it's EU. Yeah.
Yep. No heroes.
Yeah. And I thought it was interesting that like they opted to play 4 Tempest Kicks and took out the Laboons, which was like interesting. I think. I mean, I haven't tested it, but like I feel like it would. I when I was playing Teach, I was not very impressed playing Laboon, so
Yeah.
I think it's like maybe a good call.
I can see the trigger being annoying because like you always like. I feel like everyone wants to like spam their weenies against it, like try to like swing for 5s. So I could see it like just being a good trigger for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus,
like, it's
going hand
nice.
neutral is also really good too.
Yeah.
Because you'll
Yeah.
have 10 cards in trash. So I've always been a huge Tempest King fan. I've always been a big Laboon fan too, but that's probably more so because the ult is like just gorgeous, you know? I mean,
Mhm.
so that's good.
No, definitely. But I think in terms of representation for like the last results, it's pretty standard. I don't think the meta's really developed much further than we like really hoped, especially since Nats, right? Like even though BY did well, I feel like I don't know. I feel like BY like it's either like hit or miss, right? Like cause some of the events like BY does really well. Like if you look at the last results, and then like the others like yeah, it's about as expected. Like 2 people, 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In like top 32.
Yeah, I think it's probably dependent upon how much Teach is like played. To be honest with you, because like the matchup isn't auto lose, but I don't know. I played 2 last weekend, or was it last weekend? Yeah, and it was just miserable because I just didn't have Fist Luffy's to really rip life or find my Rygos. So it was I don't know. This wasn't great.
All right. So, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about for the Teach deck list?
Not really. I'm trying to think if there's any other interesting builds I saw because we had 5 for this weekend, which was actually pretty shocking.
Mm-hmm.
We had 5. Yeah, it was 10 Dofi, 5, 6 BY Luffy, and then 5 Teach, which is kind of crazy actually. I think most of them were X2 though.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean doesn't really matter, but it just means probably like if you just don't dodge Dofi, you probably like always go X2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very good top cut deck, but I think it's really sketchy for treasure cups.
Do you think it's good for top cut? Because like I don't know the top breakdown like we see here like there's like 14 Dofis for the core one. Like that would be miserable top cut experience.
Yeah, I guess that's
Okay.
true.
I think.
I was just more thinking like in a best of 3, you could probably squeak out like
Okay.
you could probably squeak out a little bit easier, and like triggers would definitely like be more relevant in a best of 3 is what I was thinking.
Okay.
This list is actually really interesting. This guy, he went down to 3 Blackbeard, and then he's on 4 Shockwave, 4 Pistol, so he has 8 triggers that just say nuke something.
That's pretty cool. I like
That's
that.
pretty
Because the
cool.
shockwave trigger kills a 4, right?
Yeah, it's just
And
Jet
then-
Pistol.
And then, but even like I was playing against one this weekend, and I just played Garp down, and it was like all right, 8 I guess, because I had nothing. They're like shockwave kill the Garp. I'm like, oh, that's so bad for me. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I literally talked about it, I think, in call right before my match against Blackbeard,
Mhm.
and I had a Brook on board, and he left 2 Dawn up, so I swung my Brook first. And then he was like, dang. And he played Shockwave just the counter by like 7 or something.
Oh,
And I don't think he was very happy.
He's
I
like,
can
oh, this guy
imagine,
knows.
Yeah, but he was chill though. We talked after, and he was like, "Yeah, Shockwave did like wonders for him this weekend." He said he went 2-3 into Dofi, which obviously like that could be like Dofi like not knowing the matchup too. But I feel like stalling out the teach even is like so massive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
for sure. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
can
think
see it.
there's a lot of good lists. But, like, I don't know. I think the ramifications of Blackbeard being a little more prevalent for One Piece Day is a little scary for us,
Yeah.
Lucy slash BY players.
Yeah. I'm curious, do you think like the tech like now that we know these techs are out there, like because they're published now, right? Rather than like
Mhm.
you know maybe you saw it on like Sim or something, or like you're testing it yourself. Like, do you
Yeah.
think it makes it worse for Blackbeard because people know now?
Probably
Uh,
inherently. It's like Red Hawk when Shanks first started running it. Like
Mhm.
people were like, "Oh shit, that's so scary." For
Yeah.
like the first week, and then everyone's like, "All right, 2 Dawn on Brook." Like,
Yeah, so it's like very
whatever.
similar to like when Whitebeard started running Red Hawks, right? Like and like you
Yeah,
would just
yeah.
blow like a bunch of law players out, right? And then it's like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, well we know now. And so then you
I'm
like
trying
you
to
structure
think.
your turn around it.
Yeah.
The counterplay is probably just swing teach first, right? Like just turn
Yeah,
your teach sideways, even if you're not swinging 5, just to be like, oh yeah, cool 2 Don, buddy. You still gotta swing into this now.
yeah, you can do it like that. You can also yeah like make a real swing with it. It kind of depends on the situation, right? But it is awkward, like
Yeah,
because like you definitely do want those things on board and not sideways so they can
yeah.
swing into it, right? So I'm
And
curious
you
if
obviously can't sacrifice the swing. That's the problem. I feel like is gonna be like it's still detrimental, right? Because
yeah.
like you can't just go like 5K and like just accept that the teach is gone, so you have to turn it and force them to swing into it. So it's not like it could definitely be worse. Like it's definitely at
Mhm.
least counterplayable, right?
Yeah. But I'm just curious if you think like the counterplay like is still like bad enough that like it's good enough for Teach to still be running these things, right?
Honestly, probably it is because like I mean you might even not you might just cut it and just like leave 2 Dawn up to like scare Dofi now because people know of the card
Yeah.
and like we just get into that gamble. But it's just like it's probably worth it because like right like they turn their teach sideways and they swing 5 and then it's like oh well now I can just jet pistol your 5K body that's standing and punch your teach and like I don't have to like tuck on my down and turn into your 5K like sideways.
Yeah.
So they still they actually double clear, you know.
Mhm.
It's like if they just bluff Shockwave, you have to play around it because that card will like, that card seems like it would really blow you out if you don't play around it. So they probably
Uh-huh.
have to respect it like every time.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that. I'll definitely try testing it. I'm actually very curious to see if it improves your Diffie matchup enough. In other news, let's see, BY. I think like we were saying earlier, like it could be higher, could be lower. It really depends on the day, right? If like how unlucky they are, like queuing into like Teach, bad hands against Purple Luffy kind of thing.
I think they actually converted really well for the X1s. Like, yeah, they had like 3 X1s, so like half of them went X1 and then half of them went X2. So like,
Because I'm looking at the most recent three, and like, was it? It's like 2 to 3 max. In like each tournament that actually made top cut or top 32.
I think it was
Six.
for top 6 or top 32 or top 16.
So in the 401 games one, 6 made it. In the
Mhm.
EU one, 9 made it, which was yeah. And then in the Oceania one, only 3, 2, only 2.
yeah,
So
it
I
looks
think
like
it just
BY's.
varies, right?
Yeah, it also looks like BY's a lot less like popular overseas. I would say,
Mm-hmm.
or it's
I
not
think it's really
converting as
popular
well.
in EU.
Yeah, in
I think
EU
it's like
very
the most popular deck, or at least one of them, besides Dofi, of course.
Because that's the
But,
reason
yeah,
people were
OCE,
playing
you know.
were playing black like mono black Luffy, right? Because like it had a better matchup into BY because it was so popular over there. BY was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't like Lucci over there. Not Gecko Moria and Joyous. Not the at least the cool one.
True. I think maybe something notable to talk about is I feel like Shanks appears in these top cuts less and less compared to when we started, which I guess is a little sad for Shanks players. But
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a skill check deck, right? Like,
yeah.
especially because BY is a miserable matchup. as long as they like are finding like a Kuzan and like finding a Gecko or two. And then Lucci's miserable. Ploofy is bad if they get to go first. Dofi's not super great if they get to go first either. So I don't know. It's just like not great into the meta right now.
Yeah, but I mean, I was always of the opinion that like I don't think the deck was very strong. But I think it's kind of maybe disappointing to see that like as the format went on, it's just like getting worse. I guess like people know how to play against it more, kind of thing.
I think it's just like I think it's the same thing as always. Like the aggro consistent deck will always do well at the start, and then like once the format like actually develops, like the deck dies off. Because like the same thing with Ploofy's happening right now. Like Ploofy's dying down in like result as well. Like I don't know. I just think the deck has too little to like actually offer, and it feels like really underwhelming. To it feels very like linear at the least. Like I have like one play per turn, and like if you can play around that play, like you're winning.
Yeah.
It's kind of like at the mercy of. Oh, did I draw my card? Oh shit! I guess I lose. I didn't draw that 5 cost against Dofi. That must Let's go ahead and wrap this one up.
Yeah, and then like now Dofies are like they're actually playing around Rayleigh well. I've noticed, and they're like playing Law the turn before you could Rayleigh them just to like restand their boards and stuff like that, and then just makes it even like harder for like the Shanks to come back from like a behind position.
Yeah. I think that's really it for in terms of Treasure Cup results. You guys want to talk about anything else? Let's sort of just like in general about the meta after Nats. I don't know if this is just a me thing with the people I watch, but I feel like people are really on the RP Luffy train. It's not just me. Like I feel like there's way too many RP Luffys all of a sudden after all the Nats.
Yeah, I found 2 last weekend. It was the first one was pretty fine, but then the next one kind of found like ramp into 7 cost, 9 cost, 9 cost, 9 cost, and that was super not fine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, deck's good if it finds its shit, but if it doesn't,
sure.
then it just explodes.
I don't remember if I played one this weekend, but I know I played one last weekend, and like I think Lucci is still like its worst matchup, so I don't know. I think both of them still lose to Lucci though, so I think I was talking to it was Infernity earlier this week because he was asking which one to play, and like I honestly don't know the difference between it and Ploofy at this point, like matchup wise. Like maybe your Dofi matchup's better, but like that's it.
I don't even think it's better because like when I was watching, like Dofi still did fine. Like it's just maybe sometimes you just hit like the nut curve and they don't have law to like bounces or Juro or something. And it's like okay, well.
Yeah, it's just tough. You see Yasop.
Like yeah,
Yasop and the kid is just really, really tough, and then you see like a Shanks and I don't know, explode.
Yeah,
it's too tough to get into that. So you gotta like put 4 down on your 5 cost characters to just like even hit. Ugh.
Yeah,
value.
I'll be honest, I really don't know the matchup spread. Like but I would assume that like your Shanks matchup is like much better all around. Just being 6.
Oh yeah, Shanks is like it's like nothing. I want to because Gavin plays RP Luffy like exclusively, and he said Shanks and Luffy are pretty favored unless they just go like first and they see like everything. But otherwise, yeah, it's just fine.
Yeah, I can see P Luffy being favored as well. Like if you play all the rushers. I do know that like some people have like a lot of discrepancies in the build. Like some like people are like dropping like what's it Newgate. Some people are not playing the rush Shanks, the 10 cost.
That's crazy.
I mean, I get it though. Like, I don't know if you really want to play Rush Shanks. If you want to also hold up Giant, and like
that's why 7 cost kid's so good.
Yeah. So like,
yeah, but it has to stick, right? Like I don't know.
I mean, outside of Lucci, it's gonna probably stick.
Yeah,
right. It's like a 7-8. Like
Gum Gum Bell, Egghead, Bozo.
my fault.
My bad. I guess yeah. RP or BY doesn't stick either because he just coos on Rocket Luffy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's just
really annoying.
It's fine. Like I said, like if you don't see like Kuzan and like they see everything, you just kind of die.
Yeah, they don't play 10 drop though anymore, or if they are, they're playing like 1.
It's like,
so I mean, that's
one.
nice.
Yeah, and even then, that they like if they don't win on that turn, it's just an auto loss.
Yeah. Still hate that card.
Yeah, I think that's it. Anything else you guys want to talk about meta wise? I don't think there's anything new really.
Not really. I think Nell topped a few EU events, like top 32. Looked funny.
I think ever since that LatAm event where like almost or like wait, they top four, right? Or
They top four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top four?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind
like,
of.
like since that LatAm final, like Anel's been getting like a top here and there, like in, like one or two spots, but it's also just like it's not very consistent. Like your matchup spread really matters, right? What you see the day.
No, also, I think I'm a bit of a cobra here, but I think Smoker should be postured to be a lot better moving forward with the increase in Blackbeard and BY, at least comparatively to Lucci, because it just has it ekes out those matchups I think a little better than Lucci does.
You think Smoker
more consistently
has a better Blackbeard matchup than Lucci?
Than Lucci? Yeah, 100%. You have Tashigi. I say Tashigi just trashes Burgess. That's like
yeah.
That's super valuable.
That's fair.
And then they play the 10 drop, and you're like, shit. Anyways, Ice Age.
Yeah.
Or if you stuck a Kuzan, then that's really valuable too. I don't know. And then they have like, I don't know, you could play Kaido, and that makes it even easier. But yeah, Tashigi is just like a huge win into those kind of matchups.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, Tashigi, the card's just good. I feel like the card just like kind of solo carry Smoker.
Yeah, it 100% does.
I can see BY for sure, but I actually don't think the matchup is that bad for Lucci either, to be fair.
I mean, it's not that bad if you're teched, right? Like, if
you're sitting there with double Kaido, double Nightmare, sure.
I mean, you don't need Nightmare. You just need more fight costs, right? So that way, your 357 is like smooth.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I don't know, like both of the ones I played this weekend, like both of them just like basically folded to me having like a good forward on like Rebecca Brooke combo. And then like from there they were just too behind and they could never like slam Burgess for free. And I think like that's like just kind of like deciding factors. If you can aggro before they get to like Burgess, then like they're in a really bad spot.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't know.
But I don't think it's like miserable like by any means, but I just think Smoker being like they have to kill the Tashigi with a pistol, and they're not developing anything after you kill their Burgess, right? And then you can you have more 5 costs to kind of fuck around with, like T-Bones, you have Tashigis, you have...
Yeah, I guess you do have something more curvy. But...
You have more Salino too, which is super valuable. Like, so they have to black hole you to kill that thing. Yeah, so there's just little things here and there that you can eke out with it.
For sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the big thing is just like Jack killing 10 drop would be my argument. Is like that's the easy, like the biggest difference is like you can kill Burgess early game, but if we hit late game, I feel like Lucci has it better off.
Yeah.
I'd say it's about the same, right? Like
it's the same.
Both decks have to see the reduction event, and like they have to see You have to see 2 as Lucci, right? Because presumably you don't have on plays.
Yeah, well, no, you have to Tempest. If you have like, you can have like Tempest, right? Like
you still have to have 2.
Yeah. But like, they're at least like you play more of them, right? Whereas like with like Smoker, you're just playing like the 4 Ice Age, right? If you play 4.
Yeah. You definitely play 4, but you also have Kuzans too, so they have to kill Kuzans. So they're just running out of resources because you can develop these threats that are super important to get down against Blackbeard, and then if they just run out of cards, then you really don't even care about the 10 beard. Is kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I mean that's how Lucci plays it too, right? You just play out like 4-6 vanillas and just call it a day, or you just play a Sabo before they can like do anything and they're crashing out.
Yeah.
I had one guy try to black hole after I Saboed, and I'm like, that's not how that works, buddy.
Oh yeah. No, same thing happened to me with the Blackbeard I played. Like he tried to do the same thing. I was like, oh, I Sabo. I let him take it back, but it's like, yeah.
He didn't commit to it.
Guy.
He called Judge and asked, and then I was like, because I told him, because I was like, hey, what's up? Because he was like, I'm gonna call Judge. I was like, oh, what's up? But he's like, oh yeah, can I black hole this? I'm like, nah, buddy.
Yeah, this is not how it works.
Sabo, good card.
Winning Resolve is a good card. But, yeah. I guess if that's that, then let's talk news. So, 2 big pieces of news, right? Going into One Piece Day and Worlds is we're going to have an announcement from the English producer, very specifically, right, of the game at One Piece Day on the 2nd day, which is the 9th, I believe. And then at Worlds on the 2nd day, presumably after finals, we have a ban list announcement. So let's just get this out of the way because I think it's a little bit shorter. Do you guys think there's anything other than the announcement of global release that we're going to hear at One Piece Day from the English producer.
I think that's it, right? Like that. There's nothing else that could possibly be. That would be like that would warrant to like. There's an announcement at One Piece Day.
Right?
Like, there's nothing
Yeah.
else. What are they gonna say? There's a new product coming out.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's
guys.
like
Give us more money.
No. Digital client, boss.
Bro, don't say that.
I mean, yeah, I guess
I actually don't care if we get one, honestly.
Me neither. Yeah,
I don't care, but like, it would be nice instead of playing webcam tournaments, just for like, you feel less bad about it. But like,
that's super true.
At the same time, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess.
I don't even know if I want that for webcam events. I would almost want it to be kind of like how Yu-Gi-Oh does it, where it's like an entire separate game.
Mm-hmm.
And like they host them for either or, to where like webcam tournaments are still a thing, because I think they still do remote duels as well as they do Master Duel as like its own system, but like they're on their own meta, so it's a little bit different. I don't know. Like I get why people don't like webcam events, but like I would just like, especially playing to like Lucci or something, like I want to be able to like shuffle my trash and like look at my trash like whenever I want without having to like go through it like Sam.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's not too bad, like for Fusion World, because I played that client for a good bit, and it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Fusion World client's not bad for sure. I played it for like a couple days.
Yeah. But honestly, like, I don't know, online client now. I
mean, maybe that'd be like my only guess is like, oh, since we're doing a global launch and like that's happening, then like maybe that's why we're getting an online client at the same time,
But yeah, I mean, presumably we like. I feel like we would just hear global release first, right? Like, I feel like they don't care.
Well, plus, like, they leaked the starter decks, like, coming out at the same time, too.
Yeah, so which is interesting.
Well, that's, like, the only thing I could think of to was, like, yeah, maybe it's global release.
Do you guys have either of you guys have the dates for when that's releasing? It's like July
June.
Or something, right?
It's like middle of June. Or early June? It's June. That's all I know for sure. Yeah. But, yeah, so, like, if that's the case, the only weird part is, like, our OP11 releases in June, so I wonder if they're just gonna pause like Japan until August, I guess, for their OP12 or some shit.
I think somebody had like posted, I can't remember for sure, but it was like Japan has like a staggered like release between two of their sets, and I think we're accelerated for like the next 3 or something like that, to where we catch up, is what it looked like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that'd be interesting. If
works too.
Accelerated release, yeah.
Because I know for a little bit they tried doing it with Digimon, and I think they just gave up. But they got us to like where we like, huh?
They're back on it for Digimon. The Digimon's catching up.
Oh, they are now.
This
month. Oh, yeah, nice. They're global this month. Yeah.
Yep. Nice. Okay, yeah. Because I know back then it was like there was a point where like we got a set like every 2 months or something crazy.
I mean, we're kind of there now with EB and PR and shit too.
Yeah, they changed it for Digimon this time around, where like they released like it's BT 18 and 19 together, or something, or like half of 19, and then at the end of this month they're doing the other half of BT 19 or something, and then BT 20 is what if I remember correctly.
So they're doing. That's what they did at the start of the game too. That's kind of interesting. So, like Digimon set 2 and 3 were combined into 1.5 for the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was actually really weird. It's actually a cool format though, I think.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't know how much global release I'll actually change stuff, but it's interesting at the least.
I think global release will be good for the game, but I'm just curious what's going to happen. I feel like maybe we'll really see like what each region really like their top players really value, because like we already have some slight differences between like top players in each region, right? Like EU players valued playing BY more. Like if we just talk about like right now in this set, like they value BY more and like how strong it is, but like in the West, like we don't have nearly as many BY players like pushing it. But like of course we have the successful ones, right? But like we don't have nearly as many BY players, I feel like.
That's probably true.
Yeah, and then, but we also compare
successful BY players at least.
Yeah, and then if we also compare to like Oceania, like I don't think they have nearly as many BY players, and like the successful BY players are the ones that test with the Asian players, or like the Southeast Asian players.
Yeah, I think you're right with that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but like, I think it's just gonna make open for at the beginning of the format just be a little more fun instead of like. Like OPO2 was awesome because no one really kind of understood how good Boat was.
Yeah.
for a little bit. So that was like OPO2 was sick because of that exact thing. Like it took the East so long to figure out boat. Like it was the last week. People were like, "Oh shit, yeah, this card's kind of crazy." +2 to everything. Who would have
Yeah.
thought?
Well,
So
I mean, like, if we go back to then, right? I feel like we had more Zoro players for a while than EU did, and they had more white
EU,
players
then,
at the start.
yeah.
At the start,
EU,
like I feel like
yeah,
we had,
no, I agree. Yeah,
but then towards the end, of course, like things homogenized because like it's the best deck in the format,
yeah.
right? So like
Yeah.
I'm curious, like I feel like we'll see that a lot more with global release, where like we'll have like player like different camps more or less, right, of top players.
Yeah, that
I
makes
feel
sense.
like the interesting thing might be decks, like complex decks, like develop slower probably.
Oh, for sure,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
for sure.
But like, I'm curious how much of it is gonna like get gate kept essentially, or like if it will be.
I mean, it depends like what level of gatekeeping, because I mean, like startup events, like I feel like it'll just always be like that, right? Like startup
No,
format.
no, no.
startup
I was
events,
just
like
more thinking like Black Luffy was like literally like one group of people didn't leak the deck, held it
Mhm.
all the way till Nats, and then like they all made top
Oh,
32, and then I think
I gotta pause.
okay. But yeah, I was just thinking like maybe we start to have more decks like that, where it's like maybe it's not like an entire deck, but like maybe like in an engine or something. Like
mhm.
people just start playing like different tech cards and like gatekeep deck cards for like big events probably.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Like
It also probably depends on like how much money people want to make. Like truthfully, like your Metafies, your Patreons. So
well,
it's like if it
I feel like a lot of
like
the time like they top with the tech and then they post it on Metafy and Patreon.
that's probably fair too. Yeah.
yeah, because
I'm not sure how it's gonna work out for these events moving forward for on global release. Because like if we're not doing anything until events happen, like you're just kind of losing out on a lot of opportunity cost right there.
yeah, because I mean, the other thing is
But
like even not that like you can't be right like just without any results, but like I feel like at least me personally, if we as a group found something as well, like I wouldn't want to post about it until we prove it as well,
No,
right?
for
Yeah.
sure.
Because I mean, there's also like like a lot of like testing inbreeding as well, right? Like you can just get too far off the wrong track.
Totally fair.
Yeah, but it would be interesting for sure. I'm very curious to see what happens. Like especially like, not that it wouldn't have been good in sets prior to have global release, but like 11 onwards, like there's enough cards and like enough power creep that like it might be. I feel like it's more interesting now than before. Because I feel like
sense.
I feel like also we printed so many bad cards in the sets, bro. Like, like can
Yeah.
you imagine we're doing global release and like we're all just stuck playing like Sokka with like doing like what was it the Zeph 7 cost 9
Yeah,
cost,
the 3 cost Dofi.
yeah, or like playing 3 cost Dofi, playing 4 cost ulti or something because like I need to draw more cards. It's like I don't
Yeah.
know, like.
That's fair.
But it's because like we printed so many bad cards we had to get through.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
don't
I
think-
also I have an idea because like so PRB releases in September this time around, right?
Yeah, PRB 2. Yep.
So yeah, which was November last time. So I'm wondering if that's when they do the catch up because they accelerated that so much.
No,
Maybe.
because PRB 2. Well, maybe right, but
Yeah.
PRB 2, as far based on the announcement that I think Diego showed from distributors, is
Mhm.
it's the starter decks from 1 up till the extra starters or whatever, like the reprint starters,
Yep.
is confirmed as part of that set, and then 1 through 10.
Yeah.
For
No, I
sets. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
no,
like,
I know. I'm saying that that's when they do the catch up like on the global release because they accelerated that so much from the prior PRB
Yeah.
because they pushed it 2 months.
You know, I guess we would also need to see when Asia's release date is, if it's similar to ours, because they've confirmed PRB2 is gonna have like actual like 14 or 15 new cards rather than
Yeah.
only Sanji later. So if it's the same time, then yeah, then we're basically we're gonna get global release then or a little bit before.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to compare. I don't know if we have the Asia like distributor dates yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for PRB, but it's probably out there. I don't know.
Maybe,
We'll see.
maybe not be. We'll
Sure.
see. yeah, I think that'd be exciting. And I feel like that's what's likely to happen at One Piece Day. Like, what else could he possibly say to us?
Yeah.
Congrats, guys. Like, we made it to One Piece Day.
Game pulling the plug for Gundam.
They'll just
That's
show,
what I was gonna-
yeah, they're just killing the game for Gundam.
Like, we're killing this, we're killing Battle Spirits, everything dies. It's just Gundam now.
yeah.
Just Gundam and Battle Spirits is coming back with another relaunch.
It'd be the third one, right? Like, so sad.
Yeah. The relaunch.
Oh,
just
Lord.
for you guys.
All right, so that's probably what we're expecting from One Piece Day. Let's talk about banlist. So, all right, I don't know about you guys, but I'll be honest. Maybe this is not a hot take, but I feel like I was fine without a banlist personally. Like, as much as I don't enjoy dealing with Dofi and like maybe I'll hate dealing with green purple Luffy. The format is more or less pretty open, and like give it one more set or two, like there's gonna be strong enough cards that like they're not like perma tier 0. You know what I mean? But I don't know how you guys feel.
I mean, I wouldn't call this set like super open, if I'm being honest with you. Like, what do we have? That one tournament, Dofi had 14 of the top 32. Like, yeah, that's like Whitebeard levels of like bullshit.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
9, right? But like, we're already past it. By the time we would get the ban list, right? It'd be
Sure,
it'd be
yeah.
easy.
I mean, they've never been good about doing the ban list when they need to, except for like the
Yeah.
Black Maria ban or the RP Law ban before Black Maria. Like
Yeah.
that, they're never good about that. But even then, like
I
until
mean-
Grape, it's like still Dopey landed OP at 10 with some T's running around who can find their liberations. So
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I don't want a ban list. Like, I'm cool without one. But like, if we're gonna get one, like, you have to hit Dofi. Like, I feel like if we don't hit Dofi, like, we're just like, there's just no point.
For sure.
But I do think the format is like very like healthy overall, though. I will say.
Yeah.
Like the 14 one is crazy, but then like ours was like 10, 5, 6, and then like 2, 2, 2 of like every other deck.
Yeah.
And like
I guess-
our Nats top 32 might have been the most like well balanced top for like a Nats format I've like ever seen.
I don't remember.
It was like
I don't.
it was like
I thought
it
it
was
was
like
like 10 Dofi.
4 of like I thought it was like 4 of like every deck.
It was that, but then it was like 10 Dofi or like a 12
I mean,
Dofi. or
yeah,
something.
obviously there's always gonna be a best deck,
11.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
and that's totally fine, right? It's just like we had so many complaints. Like as a Whitebeard player, there were so many complaints when that deck was good, when they had similar tops.
but
And then when
like-
Sokka was good, it was the exact same thing. So I don't know why Dofi is getting this weird free pass, like it's some open format, but it's absolutely still the best deck that you have to.
I don't
build.
think
Okay,
it's-
let me. It's not like the format's open, right? Because like, if we boil it down and you were playing to win, you should play Dofi or
Mhm.
a Dofi counter.
something
right?
that counters it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would just say like the deck like it rewards skill more or less rather than just playing like a curve. But like of course you can high roll for sure, right? Like let's not take away like
Yeah.
if you get triple Jin bait on turn 3, like let's just not
Yeah.
there's not a deck in the
That's
game
skill,
that
what
does
do you mean?
anything, right? But like I feel like outside, like when you get outside of like people playing Dofi, right? Like win or lose, like the rest of the format really works, right? Like purple Luffy, Shanks, Lucci to play against those two. You can play Bonnie to play against those two. You can play BY and then like lose to like purple Luffy and Shanks, like if you're not very skilled, right? And then like teach and then
Yeah.
like teach as well, right? Like I feel like if you just like don't think about it too hard, like there's enough decks to play. I really like genuinely believe it. Like compared to like
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I
04.
don't disagree.
yeah.
I don't disagree with that at all. But I guess like saying like also the skill level that Dofi requires, which I'm not knocking that. It's probably one of the hardest decks to play to date. Has been the same case with RP Law and Sakazuki as well.
Oh, dude,
Right.
I don't think RP Law was hard to play. I mean, it was just me.
No, I mean to play well. To play well, it was absolutely like a hard deck to play.
No,
like
no,
you
for
could,
sure.
I mean, yeah. Like obviously there were bad RP Law players though too.
I'll
like,
just
if
like, I don't know. Like let me put this. I don't think like Lucci's hard to play, right? And like if
No,
Lucci was my
yeah.
second format, fuck this deck. let me just say that straight out. Just fuck this deck.
Yeah,
But,
100%. I agree.
But like the amount of like the amount of skill you need to play the deck when your deck is just like inherently like remove thing and like tempo out of body is like much lower. I feel like than like playing Dofi, because like Dofi at least like you sacrifice like potentially like an extra 5k or 6k on board, right? If you want to like remove a 4 cost or something, right? And if you have to set it up well. You have to set it up. Let me rephrase well. You have to set it up. But
you have to exist. Yeah. I hear
yeah,
you.
but like whereas RP Law is just like, okay, I have the reduction, I have the play in hand, and like, okay, your board's gone, and like I need significantly less counter to live. Whereas like Dofi is like, you can mess up and like bounce a 5k that you actually needed on board, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a similar thing with RP Law though too, right? Like you had to, like if you Dom minus to get rid of that, and then you're like, oh shit, I don't got anything next turn. That's pretty rough actually.
Yeah, that's true. But also it's like when he removes your thing every turn, and all you have is like a 5k or 6k swing at his body every turn. It's like, doesn't really matter, right? Like the guy's just going to do shit on you.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I played against a lot of RP Law's Gecko, and really like you could just dismantle that deck. Yeah, I know. You could just like dismantle that deck. Like if they weren't a good RP Law player, they got cooked 10 out of 10 times. If they are a good one, they probably still got cooked like 8 out of 10 times with that deck. So it's like, I don't know. I still think it's obviously harder to play Dofi, but still, like Sakazuki, not the easiest deck to play either. Like obviously remove something to return and tempo it out is good, but
yeah,
still, it's a similar thing. That's what I'm getting at. Like all these high skill level decks, like they're just really strong, but even I don't know. It needs to pay. That's all I'm getting at here. I'm tired of triple Jinbei on 3. It needs to fucking pay. That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I understand. Like that maybe it's good to have a ban list, but at the same time, like I feel like this ban list is probably the most unnecessary we've needed in terms of like if we were gonna get a ban list. I feel like this is probably the most unnecessary one of the ones so far.
I was also gonna say, I feel like the Whitebeard format wasn't like just the Whitebeard wasn't the only problem. Like people were also annoyed because it was just like if you weren't playing red, you weren't playing the game. It was literally you play Whitebeard or Zora, or if you were actually good with Law, you could play Law. And it was like that was it. That was the format. You had 3 red leaders, and then the pie chart I posted in the chat of literally 75% Whitebeard. You can see almost his entire face.
Which one was this one? Oh,
yeah, that's a bigger one.
Wait, what was this?
This was OP3. This was peak beard format where everyone was playing freaking aggro beard, and everyone was just monkey braining everywhere. And then they were like, "Oh, I saw my one of Nightbeard. I'm better than you." Ha.
Yeah.
That's that format.
That's the other thing too. Is like, I mean, it's hard to be in those positions, but also like, I feel like Dofi is not cheese proof, or nearly as cheese proof as like Sokka or Whitebeard was, right? Like if you saw Ninebeard and like a Rad Beam at the end of the game, like sometimes you just cannot die, like, or like,
I mean,
or, like for Sokka, like if they just have like double Rebecca or something at the end of the game, right? It's like, okay, well this guy just doesn't die. It's not fair. Like it's so shit. Whereas like Dofi, like they can just not see boas, right? And then like they just don't have blockers, and you can maybe cheese something.
I agree, right? But like we just have fucking starter deck Law bouncing Sengoku's to oblivion and then searching. So if you don't see your shit, like
no, yeah,
I can't help you shuffle better.
It doesn't happen, right? Or like this happens fairly common, but like I feel like in terms of like when I was most frustrated losing to like Whitebeard or like Sokka, it's like, dude, like they just don't die. But like against Dovi, sometimes I'm just like, oh, 6/6. Oh wow, they took 2 6s. Oh, their hand is 3 1Ks. Never mind, I win. I'm very lucky today. You know, like, I feel like I get that like sense of like, wow, I'm very lucky today. Like against Dofi, way more often than I ever did against like Whitebeard or Sokka. Like
Whitebeard, sure. Sokka, I don't know, man. That was like a card of like, what was that? 26 bricks usually. I feel like that happened a lot, especially playing against Gecko. You're like 6, and they're like, shit.
When I played against it, it was always just like, dude, wow. Their last card in hand is Rebecca Saba, and then they just clear my board, and I'm just like, wow, that's really sick. Like, I guess I don't get to win this game because you're one card.
Double Rebecca, double Hina, play Amaru from hand. Holy value!
I feel like
I will say, of the banned decks, I do think Sokka was harder. Just because like the discard management.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
like
I don't disagree.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like it was a high skill deck, but also like I agree with you. Like Dofi is hard, but I will also say it's like cheesable. Like Dofi like Sokka could also just die on turn 5 or 5 dawn because I have all bricks in hand and I have to take 10 swings in a row. Like
How
I
many
don't
times
know.
did that actually happen though? I feel like it just never
Once
happened.
RP Law was out, it happened a lot more often. But like before that, yeah,
we
that's
didn't
fair.
we never played the format like right after EB or 07. We never played that format with Sokka, and that was like with RP Law, like actually being
We had
like
6.5,
fairly decent.
right?
What's up?
We had
RP Law was good in
6.5.
6.5. That's
RP
when they got Kid
Law.
Killer, Bon Clay. Like the only things they got. What did they even get in 7? I know they got
7, they're
stuff, but
missing
I can't remember what
something.
it was.
They're missing something from 7.
All I know is we had 6.5 where we had EB, so they had Kid Killer, they had a lot of their support cards already, and we were playing Sokka versus like RP
Are they
Law,
missing
and
the
that was
second
like,
Gordon? Is that what it is?
No, Raise Max is 06. Yeah,
yeah,
those
they
are
raised
there.
max.
What
Yeah.
is it that they're missing in 07?
I don't think they are missing anything.
What
Like,
what
there's
was
a
the purple
good-
deck in 07?
Purple deck
I don't
07
even know.
was
Was it
Foxy.
I don't even know if they,
Yeah,
I
Ranger
don't
was
even know if they
06.
got new cards.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I need a confirmation because this is gonna kill me. I really gotta know.
I'm looking right now. I
Okay.
got you.
I swear, like we're missing something that's like relatively important. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm a coper.
Yeah, because Reiju came out in 06.
I think Foxy
Red
is the purple
Leader?
deck. Red
Or Red
Leader
Leader
was
came out in
Dragon. So it's Revolution Army.
And your ball's EB, right? And then
Mhm.
07?
Yeah, Shariah's 06 too.
08 is King, so 07 is the Foxy leader.
Yeah. So we got nothing.
I'm
you're missing
looking. I don't
Sanji.
think. I don't think they played a single one of these cards
Yeah.
in their
They played the
law deck
Sanji.
from 07.
They put a Sanji, but that's like
Yeah. No,
it's
yeah.
a 2K.
Okay, I guess. Maybe I just didn't hear about it, but like I don't know. I just feel like they didn't really die that often because we also had Gator Rush at the time.
Yeah, that card was sick. I missed that
It's
card.
just like I don't know, like what
Give
is
it
our
back.
body when you go like Great Eruption, Hound Blaze, Great Eruption, like Hound Blaze, and then like they finally
Hey,
shoot out two
hey,
bodies, and it's just like what the fuck, like
I'm not saying Ataka wasn't broken. I'm just saying, like,
I just feel like it
Oh,
didn't happen.
It
Right?
occurred. It occurred. It happened.
I mean, yeah,
And, like,
I'm
you
not
have,
saying
like,
I'm not saying the
05
decks are
maps,
not
too.
cheesable, like but I just feel like it happens way more often with Dofi. I feel like in my experience than it
I
ever
feel
did
like
with
it's
Sokka.
recency
Like,
bias. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's recency
really? Like
bias.
I feel like I never
I
choose
do.
Sokka during 6 and 6.5. Like
I will say, if we're talking about like the deck that couldn't be
I
cheesed, I,
never-
feel like it was definitely white. It was definitely
Yeah,
white.
it was,
I
no,
never
no,
cheese
you could.
Whitebeard.
Fiery Dog
I've never cheesed
Jambe.
Whitebeard.
Fiery Dog Jambe sure did the trick. I tell you.
Yeah,
what.
and then
you're
you-
playing Zoro, but
there-
me, I'm playing.
No, whole Red Luffy, sir. Red Luffy, come on.
Dude, I was playing Red Green. I feel like I never cheese Whitebeard. It's either like they straight up did not draw like anything, and then like I just like and then they just died to like 12-12.
I actually
like,
have an
0.
example of when you cheesed a Whitebeard.
No,
you
that's
just-
not cheesing.
when you
I
said
drew better.
Brook.
I drew better. Oh, you're so. I
I
drew
didn't
better.
have any plays until turn 9.
Yes, that's not
Nine
cheesing.
Dawn.
Your deck is just bad. Bozo.
Like, I don't know, man. I think overall, I think Whitebeard is the one that needed to be hit most. But like, also the game was so weak then that like Whitebeard could just get away with being like, haha, I have 10 cards in hand. I'm a 6K leader.
Yeah,
Have
dude, our
fun.
best removal is playing fucking.
Yeah,
Sick
honestly, you know what?
Sokka
I'm
and going
cool with not
-1.
banning anything besides pudding. Just ban pudding.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Okay.
just make it happen.
Yeah, so
True,
I mean,
honestly.
overall, like it's not like none of the decks didn't take skill, right? Like they do,
No.
and you can. And you're
No,
definitely
I'm
rewarded for
just
your
getting
skill.
at like
Yeah.
that the argument that the deck requires a lot of skill to pilot correctly is like
Yeah,
just not.
Sorry,
valid.
I wasn't done with the point. but it's also just like I can see why we would get a ban list just to lower the power level, right? But at the same time, like 11 like seems very high power level that I'm surprised we're ripping a ban list. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Just based on
I guess
spoilers
it's
so
like
far.
they've played it, right? Like they're testing it.
Yeah.
So they might just know.
Yeah, maybe they know, but I'm surprised. I will just say, with what we've seen from 11 so far, I would have let it ride. Maybe one more. give it one more chance.
one more set of Dofi just fisting everybody.
Just one more, bro. Who cares? We got green purple Luffy now. We have green purple.
True. Yeah, Sanji pudding. Honestly, that might get hit. They might just say, "You guys haven't seen this yet. It's egregious. Trust
No.
us." But
Fine. So let's talk about like maybe what's realistically gonna be hit. Like so,
sure.
if we talk Dofi, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jinbei hit, but I would be disappointed. I think. Is that just me? I feel like Jinbei can stay. I feel like it doesn't make any sense to like take so much speed out of the deck. But maybe that's just me.
I think if you hit Jinbei, you kill the deck. I think like to a point where like I don't know if it's even playable if you get rid of Jinbei.
You think it would like straight up like kill the deck? I feel like it would like maybe just like send the deck to like tier 2. Which I
That's
guess, I mean,
basically-
if that's your definition of killing the deck, like, I guess.
Yeah.
Going from BDIF to tier 2
Well, I mean, let's-
is pretty bad.
I mean, let's
You're
just-
lower than Boa at that point almost.
You're just staying around the same tier as Boa. Boa's tier 2.
I don't
Tell me
think.
Boa's tier 3? Like, you think Boa is just hanging around with, like, I don't know, Red Green Luffy or something? I don't fucking know.
Boa's goated, man. Tier
Oh.
1.5.
Whatever, dude. I feel like, yeah, like, tier 2 is, like, not, like, terrible. Like, it's just, like, you could talk. Like, that's me.
It's not, but like the issue I think is like if you get rid of Jinbei, like I feel like 4-cost Lucci's catching the quickest case I've ever seen. If you get rid of Jinbei, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, you think they would hit 4-cost Lucci as well? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I think so. Just because you're just sitting here like, I mean, like Lucci's just busted into anything else besides Blackbeard at that point. But I don't know,
I mean,
because like that's essentially the idea, right? So that's why I don't think Jinbei's going to get hit, because they would have to do some kind of balancing on the black decks too.
I mean,
And they're not going to balance Teach because there's a starter deck coming out. Like, I don't know. So there's a lot of things to go into effect there. I think like the only thing feasible is Pudding, because that card's stupid and everyone hates it, and 2-cost Teach.
Better. There we go. If we're actually going to talk about a card that deserves to be hit, I don't think it's Pudding, bro.
No, fuck that.
I actually think it's.
They play white
I actually think
I'm
it's.
surprised.
I actually think it's insane to me that people think that card is ban worthy. Like,
I'm surprised you don't. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
you think Pudding should be hit?
Yes. So listen, I understand the need for there to be like some kind of hand control in the game, right? Like we played 102, right? Going to like, okay, the guy took every hit. He's 12 cards in hand and 8-cost kid on board, and presumably 4 of those cards are 2Ks. Like, there's no winning the game anymore. I'll kill myself. Yes, like you need some kind of hand control. Like at this point, we've learned, right? But I don't think like Pudding is very fair as like the version of hand control. Like it's very bizarre for me that like we just have a straight up reset your hand. Like you don't. It's not like, okay, discard down to 5 or something like that, right? For 4. It's reset your entire hand down to 5, and you have no control. And like you don't get any semblance of like whatever play you've been building up for like 4 turns. Like it makes no sense to me. That for 4 Dawn, you can essentially just rip their hand into unplayable. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just biased. I don't know. I guess yeah, that's fair. I feel like okay. I will say when I'm playing BY and I lose the Pudding roulette, I wanted to quit the game.
Yes.
Yeah, straight up.
No, but
like also when I'm playing Lucci, I just don't play into Pudding, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're
Well, it's like-
gaming, and if I ain't
That's
playing
not a
into Pudding,
relevant deck, right? Like you're thinking like Ploofy, you're thinking BY. Like Ploofy like just dies to Pudding. You're like, oh shit, I had to rip life.
Yeah, but
And
that
then he
dies-
swung.
that like folds to Dofi either way, right? Like the problem card, I feel like for
no.
No.
Your matchup would be
Because you
significantly
just-
more playable.
Yeah.
If you could keep your hand and like be like, okay, well I ended up with 2 Gum Gum Giants, right? I can hold both of these, and then they go Pudding and you mull into like 2K, 1K, 3 bricks. The
oh yeah,
matchup's
no, I
unplayable.
agree. Like, I agree. Like having Pudding like makes it harder for Ploofy, but like,
But the deck wouldn't fold if you could keep your hand like that, right? Because then like you could presumably defend like 3/7s, and then play with the board and like whatever you draw off the Giants.
Like legitimately stabilized versus like, oh well, you swung 9, huh? Okay, all right, yeah, no 10 in hand. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, down to 5 again.
Yeah.
Like, it's miserable.
No,
It's a miserable experience.
But like, if we just talk about in terms of power level, in terms of hand control, right? Like, I feel like Pudding is like really absurdly powerful for 4. Like, even if you only do like you have like a 6-card hand or something, right? But you know that the guy has like the best play on his curve, and especially if we put it in context of playing Dofi, right? It's like, okay, well, I know I can't out kid any search kid or whatever, right? You just Pudding and then you just pray that like he doesn't mull into kid again, and then you just win the game if it works out in your favor. It's just like stuff like that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I agree. The card is the card is good, but I feel like there has to be a replacement for banning it.
No, that's what I'm saying, right? But like that can be like a future problem. It doesn't make sense that we have to deal with it now. That like this guy goes 7 at me on turn 2, And with a Teach on board, if I cannot counter 2k, 1k, he goes Pudding on his fight on, he goes Pudding and then plays another body, and then I just lose because there's 4 bodies on board, and I could not counter. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm just saying.
You're such a
Teach is
loser.
the only reason that Pudding is a problem in that situation.
It's not the only reason, but it's very it's very wild game.
It does make it shittier. I agree. It is shittier.
No,
but still.
but all I'm saying is it's a very wild game design wise that we have this at 4, and then it's probably going to be the best hand control in blue for the rest of the game until it gets hit, or they make a 2-cost Pudding. It doesn't make any sense at 4.
I agree. The card is very, very, very strong. I'm just saying, I don't know, of the cards I would want hit, I don't know if it's at the top of my list, which it might be a crazy take, but I don't know,
That's crazy to me. That's so crazy. I've lost so many games to this card. This card makes no sense at 4. This card it makes no sense in general, that.
Because you can't limit it. You can't limit it. You have to ban it.
No,
I don't. If you limit it and then you get one of Pudding, then you're just going
crashing out. I'm crashing out.
Yeah, no, I'd shoot myself. That's crazy.
I'm done with 1-ups after playing Whitebeard and just being
buddy,
oh sick dude, 1 9-beard, 1 4-cost Marco, and 1 Rad Beam, and they're all in your fucking hand. What a day you've had.
Yeah,
you're so good.
Nope. After Digimon, I hate 1-ups. I either ban it or don't. I will take semi-limited, but banned I will never do it apparently, and I hate that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Yeah,
I don't know. That's Pudding is a fair choice. Don't get me wrong. I just of the problem cards that I care about. I feel like she's pretty low on my list, but maybe I'm biased.
I don't know. That's crazy to me because I don't know. I've played so many games against Stofi where it's just if I get to keep my hand or my hand just gets shaved down 2-3 cards or whatever, then I would still win the game. In a lot playing a lot of different decks versus Dofi, but then they just rip a Pudding on my 7-card hand, and it's okay, well I lost my play, and I just drew a 2k or whatever, so I just die, and it makes no sense.
I mean that is 100% fair, and then also law bounce back something play Pudding is the most annoying thing I feel like.
Yeah,
that's pretty stupid.
If Pudding didn't also change your hand, I wouldn't care. If you paid 4 to take me down to 5 cards on hand, I would be indifferent.
Discard and your opponent gets to pick.
I wouldn't care if they get to pick or if I get to pick. It is just very bizarre that my entire hand gets reset.
At that point, I just want it to be I want to be able to pick. If you get to rip me down from 10 to 5, I want to be able to pick.
You shouldn't be at 10 cards anyway, right?
He
But it doesn't make sense that you lose your entire everything. It makes no sense that you lose everything and you're just praying the model is good.
I feel like if it's random, then at that point I just don't care if it's the normal effect, because I lost so many games to the law blocker just going, oh, you have 7 in hand? Okay, let me put you down to 5 and grab your only 2 relevant cards. At that point, I'd rather have a mulligan.
Oh, that's crazy. I would not have a mulligan because some of your hands are so playable. With 5 random cards in your hand, if you're at 7 or 8, and it's okay, we'll take any 3. Most of the time, you can make a play. I don't know. Ugh, it's just so ugh, I don't know. I mean, the power level's fucked up. Is all I'm saying. Especially when we compare.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes, but I also hate that card.
Yeah, or Perona.
No.
Yeah, that's my girl right there. Love that card.
The power level is absurdly fucked up in terms of hand control.
I mean that's fair because the 2 Dawn event is what
is a random
just
card.
Rip a card.
Random card.
Random card. You don't get a body. 2. You don't get counter.
Yeah, and so they value 1 card at 2 Dawn essentially is the thought process.
Yeah, 1 random card at 2 Dawn. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess yeah.
It's the and card on average. Cards.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If we get back to the topic, I guess. Teach, yeah, I think it's a fair ban. I would probably agree with you guys. I like the cards because it's kind of unique, but if we're just trying to ban things that don't affect other decks, I can see. Teach is probably the most reasonable. It doesn't affect really anybody else.
It's not even that it affects other decks. I think it makes it to where Dofi's still playable without leaving the deck untouched. Because I do think that card is insane to me.
No, the card's
and a card when you have Law and you have Jinbei and the ability to go, I'm going to Law and then put the Jinbei that I just bounced out of my hand back on top and then play Jinbei Weevil And I'm like, you did all that for 5 Dawn, like that's almost like it's
And
just
Spunk
insane.
7. Don't forget that.
Yeah, and Spunk 7.
Bro,
It's Spunk
that's
7.
true. And you drew a card, so you only neg 1 for the whole combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun.
No, yeah, I can definitely see
Like,
it.
like that's where I'm like, okay, we complain about Gecko, but then like we're doing that stuff on 5 Dawn, like, hello.
True.
And then I got dopey players who were like, skillful.
Alright. Yeah, so if we wrap that up, it's basically like we kind of agree. Like Teach, it's probably like it's like a very good hit if they were to do it, and like all they wanted to hit Dofi. Law. Oh, I guess we didn't talk about Law.
He's in the PRB.
Yeah,
They gave us the cheat
it's
code.
over.
There's
Yeah,
the cheat sheet on that one. They're like, yeah, he's a good card, isn't he? Right?
Yeah,
Don't worry
it's
about it.
too.
Don't worry about it.
Okay,
I will say-
while we're talking about PRB 2, hold on. I'm just saying JP. If Restand Law doesn't get an alt in PRB 2, I'm going to fucking riot.
I'm sick.
I'm going
I'm
to fucking
sick.
riot.
They don't do it, dude.
Like, reset law.
They're doing starter deck 1
already
up
have
until
an
the most
SP,
recent
bro.
one.
That was
Oh wait, no, he doesn't have an SP. That's blocker.
No,
True.
Restand Law does not have an alt.
Dang.
We're just over here with poor people super pre-release cards. What is that
Oh,
about?
no.
me and JP, we're going PRB Law halts.
Yeah, I'm selling out. There's no starter deck.
No,
law.
screw off.
I'm
No.
selling out. No starter deck law. I'm out of here.
Oh my god. Okay, so
You
what are we
guys
gonna
and
say?
Thomas could play Red Green Law. Holy.
I will. I'm gonna go on a date with Thomas, and we are gonna play Red Green Law. We're gonna play Red Green Law Mirrors.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
That's such an awful mirror.
I'm gonna bounce my. What card was it? It wasn't Cavendish. What was it called? What was the 3-drop 3K that popped something?
Vista.
freaking-
Yeah,
Just
that
the
shit was
most
funny.
Legion card ever, bro.
Oh my god.
And Boatbeard. Oh my gosh.
Dude, that was the funniest thing in Boatbeard. It's like, hey, he's a 3-5 now. I don't know what you want from me. He's pretty good.
Back
You just
to
build your guy.
okay, back to Walker Law. All right, so
Blocker Law.
if we lived in this world where we didn't know this that they were reprinting it, I could see Blocker Law getting hit. But
Huh?
if we lived in a world where
Starter
they didn't
Law,
confirm it for
yeah.
PRB,
He's got law in the brain right now. He can't think
Yeah.
about the blue law.
but yeah, honestly, I would be okay with Blocker Law being hit. Like if it was
Still
actually on the
Blocker.
table, like I feel like I would like that.
Yeah, Blocker Law.
Oh, sorry, not Blocker.
Blocker
sorry,
Law?
or Bounce Law, sorry, Bounce. There's so many. What do you want from me? I need like how they do in fucking Masters or something. It's like the character and they give me like a little tagline.
Oh, like
True.
Law SSJ7.
Yes,
that
I need
dark
SSJ7.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah, yeah.
Law, Trafalgar Law, comma, getting his ass beat
getting
by
fisted.
Teach.
Oh,
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I like outside of blue though. That's where I feel like that's where I'm interested in the ban list. Are there also like, so are we confirmed we're getting like revisions, possible like releases from the ban list?
we don't know anything at all. No.
Oh, okay.
We just know they are going to
If
tell
they-
us something.
What would be the card you guys would take back or bring back if there was a card?
I would bring back
Oh,
nothing.
bro.
I
I
would bring
bring
back
the fucking
absolutely
boat.
nothing.
Give me my goddamn boat back.
You're so
Let me
fucking-
ride
you're
that
so fucking
boat.
stupid. I hate you.
I
You're
don't
so
even think it does anything. I honestly don't think it changes the meta.
Right? Let me
Unless-
swing
unless-
thatch for
unless
10.
putting-
Just let me
unless
swing
putting
thatch
it
for
hit.
10.
Unless putting gets hit. If putting gets hit, boat is crazy.
I think it
I
would
just-
still
I
be.
mean,
honestly,
that
like,
would
you-
be absurdly good. I think. Like, it would
you
be solidly
just
tier
counter
two,
out
maybe tier
early.
one.
Because, like, when you were playing Whitebeard and you just countered out, before we all kind of understood that, like, oh shit, he's good as 0 and have on a million card hand, you
Yeah.
would still be like on 7 cards on a Nightbeard turn. So it's like, if you putting me like fine, I guess. I don't know. Like you're
I
still
think-
kind of in a good spot.
I think it would be solidly
think
like
I'm-
tier 2, maybe even tier 1, right? Just because like the ace is like very, very insane, especially if you actually get the boat off, right? With the 5-cost ace, like you just have like an unkillable like 5/8 rusher. Not bad.
Pretty nuts. Hey, gimme.
I mean, it's not definitely not terrible. And
No, and then you have the little oars would be a 6/9 and like also kind of unkillable.
yeah, I don't know if you play it, but I mean, you definitely play ace, right? You definitely. I mean, you just play whatever rushers are available to you, but like with boat and like available, you also have some interesting cheese options, right?
Squard.
Squard.
He's back.
I got my
He's back.
pre-release. My pre-release copy is sitting at home,
We need
waiting to be
box topper,
sold.
bro.
Box stoppers, bro. Come on.
No, pre-release buyout. Trust.
You're down. Alright. So, right. So Dofi, back to that. So Dofi, probably teach, putting, or like most likely on the chopping block. I'd be surprised if Jinbei got hit. And Downslaw is like definitely living.
Is Jinbei and PRB?
Pause.
Jinbei, I don't know. We don't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah.
Besides like the starter deck cards that are in there because they are in Sabo.
And we know it's coming with its own new cards.
Oh, Sabo safe. Yes.
Yeah,
Sabo safe.
Let's
My
black.
go.
Let's talk black, right?
Huh?
The second best color, I guess.
I don't even know if it needs hit. I'm gonna be so honest. You're only.
Let's just start with the obvious, right? Like, do you think Morio gets hit at this point in time? Like, we're already so far gone.
Like at this point, it's like what? Like next format, it's like Gecko's not even played outside of like Blackbeard and Dofi, and then the format after that, like Black Gecko, like a black deck isn't even playable anymore because it's just Luffy and Dofi.
You mean teaching Dofi?
Like,
oh yeah, Luffy. Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah.
not have a good matchup to black decks, as far as I understand.
I thought they did because of the
Luffy?
boat.
No, I don't
I
think.
thought
I
the
don't think the
boat-
boat is like it helps, but I don't think like the boat is like actually winning them the matchup. I think it's just like it helps a lot. That's it. Because like I mean, it's the same as any other like aggro deck, right? Like it's just that deck doesn't like have nearly as much protection like after the boat, right? You don't have nearly as many failsafes. Like Dofi has like you can draw Moria like forecast, right? But like that one's just like you put the dudes on board and hopefully they like research and then it's like okay.
Yeah, it's
what's
crazy.
their-
They
what's
also
their
don't have a
dollar
Jinbei, so
Well,
They
they can, bro.
Sound pudding into oblivion.
We can play Luffy.
yeah, they also don't have a. They don't have a teach either. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Whoa, the leader effect is teach, bro. Restand 2. You're complaining to me, but listen.
At this point, I just don't think black needs like touch. Like, what are you gonna hit? Like, Sabo was probably my number one answer if you were gonna like actually hit a card, and even then, it's just like I just don't get it.
Why?
It's like Sabo or Gecko. Like, what other card are you gonna hit? Like Rebecca?
Honestly, Spandine. Like, if I'm hitting anything, it's the one, like, non-SR.
Yeah.
Because they don't like hitting SRs. It's fucking Spandine. Take him out. Let me play Navy Lucci. Just like... No, but he's obviously, like, the big problem with Lucci that people get so upset about. Because you can just spawn out a Rebecca in a fucking 4/6 that killed 2 things. Like, what is that? Like,
What's the problem? I don't see what the big deal is, man.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've never been in the Sabo camp, though. Because he's just, like, he's good, but he's not,
know,
like, absurd.
I was just like thinking, like, if you want to hit a card, the problem is like if you are trying to hit, like, it just depends on what they're trying to hit. Because like, I don't think VY is worth hitting because Blackbeard exists. I don't think Lucci is worth hitting because Blackbeard exists. And then like, are you hitting Blackbeard? No, it like doesn't beat Dofi. So it's just like, what are we hitting? Like, I don't see a reason to be any. Like, I don't even see a reason for a ban list. But if we're gonna hit something, it's blue.
I just think that it's short-sighted to only like expect a ban list. Like if you think it's gonna hit blue, I think it's short-sighted to expect a ban list that doesn't also hit black.
I mean,
I would be
maybe?
surprised if they don't also hit something in black.
Yeah, but like also black, like if Dofi goes away, Blackbeard gets better, and then like Blackbeard does also just gatekeep the other black decks.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's like. I don't know.
One thing floating around, but it's like just to ban stage off Blackbeard. But I think if like Dofi gets hit super hard, then like banning stage, or I guess that makes somewhat sense because I don't think you play stage in that matchup anyways. But
I don't even know if that's that big of a deal though.
I don't think it is either. But I'm just throwing out stuff I've seen. Just throwing out stuff I've seen.
I don't know, like I get it. I'm just like I don't know, like in that situation, like I'm actually just gonna sit here with my 4 Tempest and I'm gonna play 4 Searcher of it and 4 Luffy and call it a day.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like
I don't know.
maybe. But like if Duffy goes away though, like Blackbeard just gets better, right? But then like there's other aggro decks that could come up, and there's like other decks that come up because like Dofi's gone that could have a better matchup into Blackbeard.
I'm just saying
like,
Gregory Law. Actually, this is our moment.
No,
Luffy gets
so my problem is right is like if you only hit blue, and like you get to play and like Teach gets better because it doesn't have to deal with Dofi. The problem is like Teach doesn't have like a lot of like anti like black tech other than existing, right? So but the thing is like all the other black leaders have like things they can play against Teach, right? Like you can play the Kaidos, you can play more bodies that are lower to the ground, and like I don't think it's like very like it's very short-sighted to like assume that like it's like Blackbeard and then like whatever aggro decks come up to kill Blackbeard. Like
I mean,
because like the matchup now is playable if you have the like the things that trash. But if you don't have if you assume like Dofi dies or something, right? Or like the banlist hits hard enough that like Dofi is like seemingly less played, like Lucci for example already does fine into like most of the other aggro decks the way the build works, the way the build is, right? Like it's just like if you only have to tech against Teach as your bad matchup now, or BY as well, right? You just play more Kaidos and you play like other 5-drops, and you fill in your curve better, and then it's just like okay, we're just playing like Teach and Lucci, and then like maybe if there's an aggro deck that actually can survive both.
Luffy.
Yeah, I would say Ploofy.
But it doesn't survive both. Well, I mean, it can beat Teach, sure, but like it doesn't. We already know right now it doesn't beat Lucci.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I think you could probably. I'll get back to
I
that
don't know.
last Lucci.
Also, Nami comes back, right? Like,
Not necessarily.
Hey. No. I'm not entertaining the thought.
I would say
Nami
not
players, go home.
no.
Because I mean the matchup, as far as I understand from like the very strong Nami players that like talk about Nami, like it's very winnable. Like it's very 50-50. Like it really does depend on like what you end up drawing at the end, or like how you set your deck up at the end. Because like if you need to mill out on their turn, then it's just luck if they have one more Teach or whatever, right? But if your deck can actually mill out on your turn comfortably, then the matchup is winnable.
So we bring back Kabaji.
You're done.
Okay.
You're done.
Yeah, you go home. Take your ball. Go
But
home.
Oh.
I don't know. Bring a conversation around. I would. I'm not sure what they would hit in black, but I would be surprised if they don't also hit black. Personally,
Ice Age.
I guess I could see it.
I don't know. I don't get Ice. I think it'd be more likely that Tempest Kick will get hit than Ice Age. I'll be honest with you.
I'd be surprised.
I
if
think that's
Tempest Kick
crazy.
got hit.
Why?
I
Because
That'd be
Ice Age is
crazy.
in like every other black deck other than Lucci and Lucci. Whereas
Yeah,
Tempest
so if
Kick
we're
just
trying to
hits
hit black,
Lucci.
why don't we just hit Ice Age?
Because
Tempest
like
Kick is actually,
Smoker
like-
needs Ice Age, like other black decks that don't have the trash fill that Lucci has need Ice Age as well. So you're just like hitting something that hits all black decks, right?
I think that's the
outside of
goal,
Teach.
right?
I would be
Well,
surprised.
yeah,
if
but like
either
they're
got
not
hit.
prevalent. Yeah, like Tempest Kick is like just the absurdly good card for Teach as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Tempest Kick's at least fair though, right? Like with his requirement, it has an actual like requirement for like the reduction.
brother, it's 10 cards in trash. You'll get there. Like it's like the most.
I mean, sure.
It's not Great Eruption bad, but like Ice Age is just like a -5 and a -1. Like it's obviously really strong, but I don't think bannable.
Hey, I'm just saying. I wouldn't hit anything. I already said, like I don't think, like I don't know, like if we're hitting black, it's just like I don't even know what we would hit. It honestly, like the problem is you can't hit all three of the black decks, right? Because if you hit, like you have to be able to hit Lucci, BY, and Blackbeard at the same time, right?
Not necessarily, but yeah, probably you would maybe do all three. It depends on what's getting hit, for sure.
So it's
I
just
don't
like,
think they touch Blackbeard at all, unfortunately. It's because he's so new.
Yeah, he also has a starter deck coming out now, apparently.
No,
Yeah.
bro.
So it's like-
ban Burgess. Oh,
Yeah,
I think
honestly.
Kuzan was a mistake. Kuzan was a legitimate mistake of a card. Like it looks
Oh, that's
sick.
right there. That's
It
right
looks
there.
real cool, but holy hell.
What if we get it banned before it comes over here?
there's no way, right? I don't know.
Well, actually, no. We'll have it for 2 weeks, and then they'll announce the ban list, and they'll be like, "Yeah, Burgess gone, Kuzan gone."
Yeah.
Honestly, okay, I will say, if we get rid of Burgess, Kuzan is like not fair, but like
He's
I think
more
it's
fair.
fine.
Yeah. But just being like, Kuzan swing. All right, let's replace him with an unkillable 10k. Good fucking luck. Like,
And I drew the card that I played for my Kuzan. Yippee!
Let's. All right, so that's those are like the two like fairly obvious ones, right? Like maybe something in black, something in Dofi.
Hear me out. Gum Gum Giant.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like it's not that I don't think. I feel like Gum Gum Giant is like not correct in terms of like card design for the game. Not that like it really needs to get banned. Like I think it's very bizarre to me that like the -2 Dawn is a cost, but it's a very fake cost in most cases. I
disagree.
Like.
I'll be honest.
No, I feel like it's very fake considering the decks that you will play Gum Gum Giant in, right? I think it's a very fake cost. And so it's very bizarre to me that like the requirement to play Gum Gum Giant and be -0 in your hand is like I don't know, it's very fucked up.
There's also two things, right? Like it's also leader luck to Straw Hats.
No,
so like that's yes, it is.
It's not.
Yeah.
No, you're lying to.
Look at it.
I'm
promise you it is.
I'm looking at the fucking card. There's no.
You can't read then. I promise you it is.
Oh shit, you're right.
It's literally the Straw Hats.
Okay.
Like in legitimately like in Ploofy. Like I think your argument for RP Luffy, yeah, that shit's always a 10. Who cares? But like Ploofy, if you do it on 9, that means you can't like play like a 9-mom or a 9-cost Luffy or anything like that, and still have something up for Giant. So like it's a legitimate thing there with the math how it works out.
Well, as we're saying for like if we're actually like caring about like being a future proofing like
like for grape,
you have to hit it for grape.
Yeah, for grape, for sure.
But also,
I think it's a fair take.
It's like what of the like purple leaders that have been good, like
but it's
been
not
Ploofy
really...
for like a predominant amount of time now, and it's just been Ploofy dots like pile.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but he was good for like half a set until not even half a set. He was like fine into Sakazuki, and then he was like okay.
He was good in 5.
That's it. Like, he's fine if you dodge like all good Sakazuki players. So,
yeah. Well, let me just say, like I don't think like hitting it is like just because like green purple Luffy is like tier 1 or whatever, or tier 0, however it pans out, right? By the time it gets to us, I think it's just like card design wise, I really don't think it's much of a cost considering like all the Luffy decks ramp. And like the cost is faked, and like compared to like Love Beam, which replaces itself, right? Or White Snake plus only +1 Geo. For sure it's for the turn, right? So it could be more, but you're really only getting what, like 4k of counter if we're being
like remember we said like what the math was, right? Like 2 Dawn is a card.
Yeah, 2 Dawn's
right?
a card.
So you're saying like one is Rat Beam,
right?
What did you say?
The math's different, right? Because it's 2
Dawn. Not really.
If we just
in general, we're just saying
2 Dawn's a card.
Also, like Dawn minus.
It's 2 Dawn for a card from your opponent, right? Whereas like Guard Point, it was like the baseline for your 1 Dawn event. It's always been 1 Dawn is equal to
I'm considering it like Rad Beam, right? Or like Blast Breath. Blast Breath was 1 Dawn minus a Dawn.
Yeah.
This one is 2 Dawn, and then -2. Like I mean, that was definitely like power creep from Blast Breath, but it's also not generic. So you have that like to take into account too. So I think like honestly, it's fine. Like it is fair. It is just good.
I would say like it's fair enough, but like I think to me it rubs me the wrong way, like card design wise. Like Love Beam, you have to have 3 cards in hand to replace itself. Like White Snake, you get +1, right? So you generally have to counter more still. But like
these also both cost 2 Dawn. Is another thing to note.
+2. Like it is very bizarre to get +4 and still not lose a card in hand. For a, not that it isn't a cost, but for a mostly fake cost.
Yeah,
in most cases,
I'll be honest, but
because I mean, like, be honest with me, like in most cases, the -2 Dawn doesn't ever matter a lot of the time. It's like they're either already like in a state where they can -4 or whatever and rip 2 giants, and then they try to win, or they're just like, okay, they're just trying to giant the 1 turn to like cycle out some cards or whatever, and then they go back to 9 or 10 and they do their play, and it didn't actually matter. It is very bizarre to be -0 for it, or -0 cards in hand.
So I guess I'll posit this. It's like this for the Ploofy example, right? So let's say we're on 9.
Sure.
We play like Luffy, Taro, Onami. Sure. So we're down to 8. And then we have to play Giant out, so we're down to 6, then go back up to 8. So like we don't have a way to 9-mom the next turn. Like it's a legitimate like cost, I think, in conjunction with things, right?
Yes. It is a cost, but like but in most cases like it doesn't work out that way, that like it's a cost that matters. Let me put it that way.
I think that definitely matters because you're
No,
back down to 8,
because like in those
and then
cases,
you can't do the same thing,
No,
right?
because in those cases, like where you play like Onami or something, right? You have a blocker. You can look at the counter in your hand. Of course, if you don't have the counter, then yeah, it sucks, right? After the filter, but like you can like take a bad turn and then just be like, okay, well, I now have 2 giants in hand on the turn after I make my play or whatever, and like with 10 on, and then I hold the giant. It's like you can bridge turns like that. Like,
You
very
can.
realistically.
I'm not saying you can't, but I'm just saying like
Yeah,
it's. I think it's.
I'm not saying it's
it's
like-
near. Yeah, I think it's a
it's not
legitimate
black and
cost
white.
though.
It's not black.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I think like in general, like it's very weird. It's
Yeah.
very weird how oddly powerful.
I'd say it is oddly powerful, but I still think it is very good, but like nowhere near like the level of something like purple doesn't
No,
have anything that broken.
For sure. I'm not saying like doing it because of like a power level thing. I'm just saying like design wise.
Card design wise, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, wait, what? Fuck it. We just power creep everything. Give everybody one.
Oh, I mean that's why I'm kind of like
Fuck it, bro.
like thinking.
Dude, give me a
like red might get like a 1/3, but no Dawn minus or something like that, or like something of the sort.
Dude, give me a 1+5 as Lucci, but I get a bottom like 4 cards or something for my trash. Fuck it, give me 5k counter for 1. I'll do it.
You mean the Katakuri event? Because that did just fucking happen.
Hey,
so
listen,
yeah.
Hey, listen, I want it in black. I want it in black. But yeah, do you think anything will get hit for presumably the green purple Luffy deck, right? Like it's the only other thing like they would possibly hit, right? I mean,
Yeah, I just don't think so. Yeah, I'm wrong.
I don't
but-
think it. If it does, because like I don't know, like we're pretty like I mean I guess by March it'll be a different story, but like it's a pretty fresh format for them still, right? Like
yeah.
they've had like what like not even a month of GP yet. Like the deck is obviously very strong, but like I'm just like, are we really e-ban listing it like this soon?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you
Like-
can look at it like what is it? Like the OPO 3 bans where they just banned boat before we had EZO. Like,
I mean,
it's a precedent.
those are both decks where they were already strong before the busted card came out, and then it was like, oh yeah, if we let them get this busted card, this deck's like unbeatable.
That's fair.
Like I don't know, like I don't think I'm against pre-banning for it, but I definitely don't think it's needed. I would maybe just it definitely would be something where like I would be more interested in seeing how like it does like past ban list time.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
All right.
I don't know.
Well, you guys have anything else you want to talk about, or we can call it here?
Yeah, free my boat, free my Great Eruption. Saka. I want to talk about Saka
I'm not
unbanning
talking
if he
about
would
Saka,
be
bro.
relevant.
There's no
Not
way
talking about.
the fucking leader's not getting
You
unbanned. If it gets unbanned, they better keep Great Eruption banned. That's it. That's my
that's
conversation.
fair.
Listen,
That's
sure, we could probably unban it if we don't unban Great Eruption, but let's be fucking
Yeah.
real. There's no way they're unbanning that fucking leader.
I don't know, man.
There's
TCG
no way
player.
they're
These
gonna.
guys sure
they're
seem
not,
confident.
They're not going to make us relive Alma no Murakumo Sword. I'm not going to fucking sit here and
White
set
Saber!
11
White
and see
Saber!
the guy go
Yes!
from Gecko Moria, Rebecca Hina, Helmeppo, fucking sword my board. Like, there's no way we're living through it again.
I'm here for it,
fucking
bro.
refuse. I refuse.
I'm
Fucking
so here for Sword. I'm so here for Lightsaber to come back.
Alright.
I don't know. Did you watch the Cardi Kazoku video with Cross?
No, I haven't yet.
They were testing Sokka, and obviously it's like super early iterations, but like it wasn't crazy. Like Cross is also not running Kuzan, and then Cardi Kazoku like never played Sokka, so they're probably not the best data there. But
for sure, like, there's a lot of iteration, I think, that the list needs, especially if we don't get Great Eruption, because I think Great Eruption prop the deck up a lot, especially for its early game. Like, I mean, we can see it with Gecko, right? Gecko's early game was
we removed Great Eruption.
No, we did.
we did. We went Eruption list for like a minute. It was just stage, not it was just stage.
We had Eruption Man and not Sokka.
No, I thought the
No,
list
they
that-
just stopped playing it.
No,
I know
go-
some people.
Yeah.
I know some people did, but I thought the list that did the best was hybrid, where
Yeah,
you played like.
that's
really-
what-
Yeah,
that's what I'm
eventually,
thinking about,
yeah,
is
but
the
I'm
hybrid
saying
list.
like it was still doing exceptionally well just without
Yeah,
Eruption.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying the deck can't do well without it, but I would just say like the best build was hybrid as far as
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm just saying, like,
And
Eruption, like, Stage was fine. Like,
Yeah.
Stage took care of the job. Stage and Kuzan
Yeah.
took care of the job
I will
the
also
majority of the
say-
time.
That's
We now have Sengoku, and that card is actually insane for that deck.
Well, so it only does black cards.
Yeah.
So you can only trash black cards, black navy cards, which like is
The only
actually a
card that you wanna
super.
draft.
Well, that's only Hina, like T-Bone. Like that's like it.
You play more navy
Cereal?
targets, right? Brand new.
I guess so. Yeah. That's like so it's not as black and white as because I thought the same thing and then was just kind of like thinking about it and I was like I think you play like at most 2 Sengoku, but yeah I mean draw 4 is egregious. I agree.
Sure.
It's just like I don't know, like you resolve it one time and then like after, like I don't know,
Yeah.
like they could just play Tempest Kick to replace Great Eruption, and they actually have so much discard that like it's live pretty quickly.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't know, like it would definitely be relevant. There's no
Yeah.
way it isn't.
Yeah, it would be relevant.
Yeah.
Especially if Dovi gets it. Especially if Dovi gets it. There's just no world where it's not relevant if Dovi gets it.
Either way, listen, I don't want to talk about this later. It's not coming back. Fuck all of you. You're all fucking business.
I didn't bring it up.
But
I
bro,
didn't bring it up.
If
Alright.
Sakazuki came back, BY dies surely.
I don't care. It's not coming
Wow.
back.
Wow.
He's right.
The hate for Sokka is
So
more than BY. That's
the
crazy.
leader's so dumb.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Let's just call it here. You're gonna make me
That's
mad. That's it. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good one.